you guys? Happy Wednesday. This is Robert Laurie again. I hope you guys are enjoying these podcasts. Really been a learning experience as me putting them together. I really thank God for y'all. Thank you guys for y'all support. And again, I just want to come to you guys every day. I don't know how long I'm going to do it, but I really enjoy giving them. And I hope you guys are blessed by the content. Again, it's the Think Up podcast, where my goal is to help you guys become the highest expression of who God is calling you to be. Again, in our culture, it's a lot going on, and I want to be a part of the solution. And I believe that solution is every individual striving to become all God has called them to be. So I pray that this content helps you to become all God is calling you to be. So this is episode 3. So I'm going to be talking about a victim, the victim mentality. Again, all of the content is coming from the book Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking, which should be out in about the next 2 or so months. Definitely let you guys know when it comes out. So I have a chapter that's talking about a victim. And the chapter is called You Are Not a Victim Even If You Have Been Victimized. You are not a victim even if you have been victimized. And I think we all can contest to being a victim in one way or another in one time in our life. And what's important is not to stay there, not to stay in that place of insecurity, not to stay in that place of fear, not to stay in that place of doubt. Even though you may have fears or doubts or insecurities, it's so important for your growth emotionally, spiritually, to step out of that, to allow whatever you're fearful of to be the fuel to break you free from that. Because everything in life is on the other side of your fears. I believe T.D. Jakes says that. Everything in life is on the other side of our fears. I'm not big on social media. That's a lot of y'all may know. Before these videos, I think social media is a big time waster. And I do my best to use social media and not allow it to use me. And it's so easy to be on there and doing things that waste so much time. And I think social media is a blessing, but how you can use it can become a curse if you allow it to steal your time. So I pray that whatever you do consume is something that's speaking into your life, that's sowing into your life. And that's what I strive to use it for myself. And that's why I'm even coming on here to striving to add value to y'all. So again, this is episode 3, and we're going to be talking about the victim mentality. And I just want to read y'all the opening paragraph in my chapter that's dealing with a victim. Let me just open it up. And thanks again for you guys supporting. And I know I've been making some mistakes. I'm getting there. I'm going to get to the place where I can edit my video so y'all don't see me coming and hitting start on it. I'm going to get there. I ain't get there yet. But I really appreciate y'all again. So again, all of the content is coming from my book, Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking. And I just want to read you guys the opening couple of paragraphs. So it starts off, a victim mentality is a learned behavior. We are victims anytime we give another person the power to define our worth. That's by Margaret Paul. It's fair to say that we all have been in the victim chair in one way or another. I have 2 energetic boys named Isaiah and Joshua, which are 6 and 2 years old. As everyone knows with kids, a fight over toys is bound to happen. A constant back and forth battle over who gets the fire truck or the PJ Masks car is normal in our home. My wife Chantrell and I will remind our boys, primarily our oldest, which is Isaiah, of the hundreds of toys they're blessed to own, encouraging them to share or get another toy. This pep talk falls on deaf ears because as soon as the toy has to be taken away, they choose not to, soon as the toys have to be taken away because they chose not to share, they begin to pout and sit in isolation. As my boys easily forget about the hundreds of toys they can play with and focus on the one toy they can't, the victim mentality causes you to forget the numerous empowering responses you can choose and instead focus your attention on the one destructive response that perpetuates your helplessness. You become a victim anytime you allow a thought, person, circumstance, fear, or insecurity stop you from moving forward. And that's the opening chapter in my new book, Think Up to Get Up, How to Break Free from Destructive Ways of Thinking. And that's in the chapter. You are not a victim, even if you've been victimized. And of course, just like many of you have, I've been a victim in a lot of circumstances in my life, whether it's relationships, whether it's people taking advantage of me. But I learned very fast, by the grace of God, that I couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay at that place of being a victim. So I just want to encourage you guys really quick. Just want to go over a couple things to help you identify if that victim mentality is bearing fruit in your life, and preferably how to break free. I want to read you guys Romans 8:37. It says, "Yet in all things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." It was never God's will for us to be a victim in our life. And a victim is just somebody who always sees their circumstances and everything that happens to them in life as something else always being the cause. They never see themselves or take full responsibility of their part. If they're late, they always talk about the traffic. If they're angry, they talk about the other person that made them angry versus questioning themselves and saying, why am I allowing somebody else to control my emotions? The victim is always in the passenger seat of their lives. And preferably this content can really help you regain that control. Now, I personally believe that you cannot be whole and become into the full knowledge of who you are until you first come into the full knowledge of who Christ is. That's my personal belief. Other people may believe differently, but I think the way I think because I turned my life over to Christ. And I thank God for that. And God blessed me to understand more of who I am and also who I'm not because I got a relationship with him. So again, all of my content is based from the Bible. All of these quotes and all that stuff, all is coming from what God put in my spirit about who I am because I got a relationship with Christ. And I just really want to stress that because it's not my responsibility to tell you what you should believe, but I always tell people to try Jesus. I mean, I tried him and I'm a different man, and I thank God for the man I am today. And I know that he's speaking to a lot of you. He's speaking to a lot of you because I don't think you'll be watching this if something ain't sparking in your heart. So preferably this content will bless you. I'm gonna try to cover it fast because I had a lot to say about this and I'm trying to do my best to keep the video short. So I'm gonna start off with a quote. The quote says, "If you continue to look at yourself as a result of other people's actions, then your life will be a result of other people's desires." That's a quote by a man named Vusi Thembekweyu. He's a South African CEO he has a fund called My Growth Fund from South Africa. He's like a venture capitalist. And I heard him talking about that and it really blessed me. So the first point I want to cover is, why is the victim mentality cancerous? I'm just going to cover them real fast and preferably this information to bless you. Why is a victim mentality cancerous? Number one, it forces you to focus. It forces you to focus on the circumstances that made you a victim. It forces you to focus on the circumstances that made you a victim. When you have this victim mentality, everything that happened to you, you focus, get frustrated, get angry about why it happened, why you, and all of these other things. And I'm not to say that you're not going to think about these things, but y'all, please don't stay there. You cannot stay in a place of victimhood. When you fall down, just like we tell our kids to get up. It's so amazing how we tell our kids, and I know for me, my son, he loves to fall. And he likes to look for his mama, to see if she gonna help him up. But he know me, when he fall, when I can tell he ain't hurt himself, I ain't helping you up. You're not a victim. Yes, you fell, you find your bones is all secure, but if God bless you with the strength to get up, I want you to get up. That's a small little thing, you can teach your kids, but mentally, how many of us fall and we have the strength to get up, and we look around. We look for people who can, oh man, please help me. And I'm not saying now hear me. I'm not saying that you should not connect with people and be in prayer communities, people speaking over you, mentors, or any of that. I'm not discounting none of that. I'm talking about a person who God has blessed them with the ability to get up, and they choose to stay down because they want help. That mentality will always cause you to act in fear. That mentality will always cause you to be insecure. That mentality will always cause you to look at yourself as insignificant no matter what the situation. That's why it's so cancerous, y'all. So number 2, the victim mentality detours your attention away from the solution. The victim mentality detours your attention away from the solution. Until you take 100% responsibility of your life, it's going to be a challenge for you. I'm a believer. I believe in God. I believe that God intervenes. But let me tell y'all something. God is not going to make you do what he put in your spirit to do. And if you don't believe that, why didn't he kill all of the Amalekites when God wanted them to take their promised land? Why did God, after doing all of those miraculous miracles, why did he sit back and lead them in a way for them to fight? What fights are you trying to give to God because he did a great miracle in your last season and you're looking for God to do something great now, but in this season, it's more responsibility that's on you? Now, this is what I believe. If God giving you 100% responsibility to do something, God ain't going to send another word and lift that responsibility. You just ain't going to walk into your promised land. And you can just read up on the Israelites if you don't believe that. So that's why the victim mentality is so cancerous. So I just want to move on. The next thing, and forgive me if I'm going so fast. I'm trying to do my best to, make sure I cover everything. The victim mentality causes you to go throughout life and never take 100% responsibility of your actions. The failures will always be somebody else's fault. You will not become a man until you're able to look yourself in the mirror and take 100% responsibility of your actions. And this is what I mean when I say that, because I don't want you to take that as saying you did something wrong or something you shouldn't have done, and then you take responsibility of what you did wrong primarily because you got caught, or primarily because you have to deal with it. What I mean is, and I'm speaking to men right now, if you're the leader of your home, take 100% responsibility in that role. Don't be passive about your leadership. Don't try to give your leadership over to somebody else because of your feelings. Now, I ain't gonna get too deep in that, but I think in our culture today, us men are a lot stronger than we act. And I'm striving to be as strong as God is blessing me to be, but that victim mentality will always cause you to omit your responsibility and try to give them to other people because of how you feel or because of what you think you deserve. So I'm just going to stop there. The next thing I want to cover is a person with a victim mentality is very creative, but they tend to find creative ways to stay oppressed. A person with a victim mentality is very creative, but they tend to use that creativity to find ways to stay oppressed. Don't use your God-given wisdom, creativity, the anointing God blessed you with, to find reasons to stay where you at. I believe anybody who is drawn to these messages that I'm giving is somebody that knows that there is more in life, that God has more for you. You may not know how to get it, just like me. I know God has more for me and my family. I don't 100% know how to get it or know how to go after it, but I know it's there. And I know if I'm going to receive it, I got to change my mindset and open up my heart to receive. And the victim mentality closes you to close your heart, close your hand to what God is trying to do in your life. And I got like 2 or 3 more points, but I'm just going to just say one more, because I believe the video already probably past 10 minutes. Say one more. Let's read this right here. It says the victim mentality sow seeds to the victim mentality sow seeds to your insecurities, which depends. I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. Let me just read something else. I ain't gonna go through that. People with the victim mentality gets angry when the people they feel should help them doesn't help in the way that they want to be helped. You know, that's kind of self-explanatory. I know we all had, that person, but it's easy to talk about how to recognize the victim mentality, y'all, but let's break free from it. And I believe the first step in breaking free from the victim mentality is knowing that it's anytime you think like a victim, just know that that's not God's purpose and God's will for your life. Quote Romans 8:37. How can you be more than a conqueror and you see yourself as a victim? You thinking that you're more than a conqueror is going to force you to break out of that victim mindset. And let me just read this last one. I want to know because this, I kind of miswrote it. See what I was trying to say? I said the victim mentality sows seeds to their insecurities, which feeds into the victim mentality, which feeds into the cancerous mentality of a victim. And we all have been victims in one season or another. But the victim mindset does not give you the right to stay a victim. So I kind of messed that up because, a lot of the stuff I write, I'm kind of typing it fast. But ultimately what I'm saying is just because you became a victim, that doesn't give you the right to stay with the cancerous mentality of a victim. You have to begin to see yourself as a victor, a victorious man of God, a victorious woman of God. I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not saying that you walk around winning every battle. I'm not saying everything is perfect in your life. But you can never grow and become all God is calling you to be until you see yourself as the victorious conqueror God is calling you to be. So I pray this content has blessed you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys, if you guys like this content. I'm striving to come out with something every day. And again, I'm going to get better with my videos. But I really appreciate y'all's support. Please, any comments, give me a comment, email me, DM me if you guys got a question. We want to know when the book, when it comes out, want the link for it. Just DM me or email me at Robert L. Lowry, that's Lowry 3 at gmail.com. Really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed rest of y'all day. Thank you.